Hey guys, these are two of the state capitals that we went to. This is Denver, Colorado, and Phoenix, Arizona. We have on our bucket list that we want to hit every state capital, the actual Capitol building. So I have 35 of these magnets because we've hit 35. So kind of cool. Anyways, we're doing something really fun in geometry. Corresponding parts in a congruence. Okay, so what does that mean? This is on page 105. You got two triangles, and basically if they're congruent, if you cut this triangle out and slid it over on top of this triangle, if it was exactly the same, then those two would be congruent. So if these two triangles are congruent, you have to figure out, well, which corresponds with which. So if triangle ABC is congruent to DEF, that means that A is congruent to D, C is congruent to F, and B is congruent to E. You have to be really careful because you don't want to match up the wrong angles or the wrong sides. It would also mean that AB is congruent to DE, AC is congruent to DF, and BC is congruent to EF. So I could actually draw in my little A is congruent to D, C is congruent to F, E is congruent to B. And then these two sides are congruent, these two sides are congruent, oops, and those two sides are congruent. So I have that all written here. You want to write this down in your notebook. These are the same size and the same shape. Now in this figure, you know my drawings are always bad. In the book they always look much better. But in this figure, I'm going to say that GLIH is congruent to KLIJ. When you say the two figures are congruent, you always have to order them in the way of congruence. Because in this case, G is congruent to K, GLI, oops, two lines here, is congruent to KLI, J is congruent to H, and then HIL is congruent to LIJ, or JIL, sorry, I'm going to say that right. You always have to make sure you get the right sides and the right angles together. So then GH would be congruent to KJ, HI to JI. Notice the way I'm stating them in order. GL, KL, and then LI is congruent to LI. Okay? So I cannot say GHIL is congruent to KLIJ because I didn't match up corresponding angles and corresponding sides. I have to make sure, because basically if you took this and folded it in half, that's when you're going to get those two figures as congruent. Okay, so I would like you to put these in your notebook, and the key word today is state capitals. See you later.